Hey everybody, this is Andrew and welcome to episode 7 of the Jaguar podcast. In this episode, we're going to be doing an overview of the Jacksonville Jaguars 2019 official 53-man roster and some of the cuts. So let's jump into it. To start off at quarterback, we have Nick Foles. He'll be starting. I don't think there's any question about that. I think everyone thought he was going to be the starter. He was a free agent that we picked up in the offseason. And I think it was a great pick from, we picked him up from the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think he's going to be a great asset to the team. He's a leader. He knows how to read defense really well and knows how to win. And I think he played pretty well against the Dolphins. So I think this is going to be a real exciting, asset and pick for the Jaguars. At second string quarterback, we have Gardner Minshew. I think he's a pretty solid backup. He definitely proved he could take a hit in the first game against the Ravens. I think he got his helmet knocked off about 2 or 3 times. So, but he hung in there, and I think he's had a very, very strong preseason. So I think he'll be a solid backup. Our third string quarterback, Alex Magoo, he got cut. I don't really agree with that decision. I think, I'm very concerned about the depth that we have at the quarterback position. We should have just kept Blake Bortles at that point, right? I think, Blake I think we're still paying about $6 million on Blake Bortles' contract. We might as well have just kept him around. At least we'd have another quarterback, but right now we don't. And I'm kind of concerned that, we may be running into that a similar type of situation that Washington Redskins had last season where Alex Smith, breaks his leg, and then backup quarterback Colt McCoy comes in and then he breaks his leg, and then we're kind of fishing on the streets for another quarterback, and they ended up getting Josh Johnson. But, that's a big concern that I have for the Jaguars at the quarterback position. So we'll see what happens. There are rumors that Alex Magoo will be on the practice squad, so we'll see what happens there, but more to come. Let's go to the running back position. We have Leonard Fournette starting running back. I don't think there's any question there. Leonard's had a great offseason. He's been working out really hard, and I think he played pretty decently in the Dolphins preseason game. There's been some injury durability concerns with him. He really did kind of hurt us last season when he got hurt. He got that hamstring injury, but hopefully he'll stay healthy, and hopefully he'll continue to be a huge asset for our running game. The second string running backs will be Rockwell Armstead and then Alfred Blue. Thomas Rawls did end up getting cut. I don't agree with that decision. I think that was wrong. Thomas Rawls is a power back. I think he would fit into the offensive scheme really well in Jacksonville. I didn't see much of Alfred Blue, so I'm not sure why, again, he was kept on the team and Thomas Rawls wasn't, but we'll see what happens there. We go to the wide receiving position, and, our wide receiving core looks pretty good. We have Chris Conley, DJ Chark, and Dede Westbrook. They'll have the starting job, and then our backups are Marquise Lee, Keelan Cole, and CJ Board. So it's nice to see that CJ Board made the team. I'm not really impressed that the Jaguars cut Trey McBride. Idiot! I think, if anyone should have been cut, it probably Keelan Cole. I was not impressed with his performance during the preseason. He really needs to step it up. He really hurt us in that Philadelphia Eagles game last season where he fumbled. Pretty much cost us the game. So looking for some improvement from him coming up this season. Then we go to the offensive line position. We go to the offensive line. We have, what do we have here? We have, left tackle Cam Robinson. He made the team. He'll be starting. Left guard Andrew Norwell. Center Brandon Lindner. And then right guard is kind of in a contest right now between A.J. Cann and Will Richardson. And then we have right tackle Jawan Taylor that we drafted. Pretty excited about this setup. I think our offensive line is pretty solid. A little concerned about, our depth. We have for backups, we have, tackle Cedric Ogwe, guard and center Taylor Shatley, and then, lineman Brandon Thomas as well. So, a little concerned about our depth at the tackle position. If Cam Robinson gets hurt, we're in trouble, right? I mean, we need to be protecting, Nick Foles, his blind side, and Cam is very integral, and is a huge part of that. So very concerned about our depth at tackle, but I think our offensive line looks pretty solid. At tight end, our starters will be Jeff Swaim and James O'Shaughnessy. I like James O'Shaughnessy. I think he's a huge asset to the team. Had a pretty strong preseason. Josh Oliver and then Ben Koyek will be the backups. So I think the tight end position looks pretty strong. When Josh gets healthy, it'll probably be James O'Shaughnessy and Josh Oliver, but we'll see what happens there. And then let's go to our defensive line. So for our defensive line, our starters are Avery Jones and Marcel Darius, and our backups are Taven Bryan, Eli Anku, and then Dontavius Russell. As I said in previous episodes, Taven Bryan I'm not very impressed with. I don't think he's done as well as or lived up to his potential. So I think if he does not play well in the regular season, we need to start giving some reps to Dontavius Russell. So then we go to the linebacker position, and with that we have Miles Jack, who was just re-signed, extended. And, I'm kind of concerned about the linebacker position, to tell you the truth. With Telvin Smith deciding to sit the season out, it's a big concern for me. Leon Jacobs will have the strong, the middle linebacker position. He will be the starter. Then we have, Quincy Williams. He'll be the backup. And then we have, Najee Good, and then DJ Alexander, and then Joe Giles Harris, who had a great preseason as well. So linebacker, that's just a position I think right now where I'm concerned about our ability to stop the run. I think we really need a bigger linebacker, bigger middle linebacker, and we'll see what happens, but. That's a position along with the safety position that I'm very concerned about. So on that note, let's jump into the safety position. Our starters will be Jared Wilson and Ronnie Harrison. This is kind of a position, again, a lot of people are uncertain about. Ronnie Harrison and Jared Wilson haven't had a lot of playing time, with the departure of Barry Church. These guys are a little green, a little inexperienced. Our backups will be Cody Davis, Josh Robinson, and Andrew Wingard. And then we'll see what happens, but I'm a little concerned at that position. We'll also go to the secondary position where our starters are corners are AJ Bouye and then Jalen Ramsey. So I think those are two pretty solid starters there. I don't think there's any question that they were going to be the starters. And then in nickel that'll be DJ Hayden, and then the backups will be Trey Herndon and Breon Borders, who made the team. So I think that's another exciting area, I think, where we have a lot of depth and a lot of experience. And then our specialist, we have kicker Josh Lambo. And punter Logan Cook, and then the long snapper Matt Overton. I don't think those positions were really going to change much, but I think our specialists look pretty solid. So let me know how you feel about the roster and the cuts as well. Leave a comment on the podcast episode or YouTube video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.